Hello everyone, it's Liam here. So today we are going to be building a Dropbox kind of transcription service for audio files. So this is going to be perfect for anyone that has a lot of like audio files lying around from like podcasts and stuff, or you like to jot down your thoughts in recordings when you go on walks, just kind of like little things like that. And it'll just kind of like drop them in, sort them automatically, just simple things like that. So I have the build out in front of me. And what I'll do is I'll show you how it works first, so have it run through once. And then what we'll do is I'll build it out because it can get a little confusing at some points, but just not all the points. So if that's perfect, I'll show you. So we have a Dropbox kind of file here. So it's an audio files and then just a draft box. So it's literally like there's nothing here. It's just an audio files and draft box. And the idea is you come into here and you get a file that let's say you recorded. And this is just for me. So this one is you can still work on no sleep, which is it happened to me recently. So I had kind of like the file where basically I had to do a lot of work in a small amount of time, and that is not fun. But long story short, that happened. So you drop it in here, and then you would have the integration here, and then it would be running, and then it would catch the file for 2 seconds because servers do server things sometimes. There you go. So it's got file now. It'll download it. It'll get transcription using Whisper AI from OpenAI, and then it'll come through. It'll summarize the entire text, edit it, and it'll bring it all through here, and it'll make all the files necessary. Boom. So it's done the one full run through, and as you can see, if I go back to all files, and then it should refresh. So I come in here. There you go. So now inside the audio files, it's just refreshed. We have an audio files 2024, which is this year. And when you go into the 2024 audio, we have a lot of files inside of it. But the main one is we have a April file. So this is the month that we have. And then inside the April file, we now have the date. So this is the date. And then inside we have two things, which is this is the MP3 file. So the draft box will be empty. And this is going to be so it's actually still loading. So actually, I'll see if I can open it. Yeah. Will it open? Okay, well, it has everything in it. um, Dropbox is being weird. Okay. I think it hasn't fully loaded yet. But as you can see, like from the front screen, it has the full transcription. I was kind of hoping it would open. Oh, look. Stuff's weird sometimes. Right, look, that's fine. And look, and the draft box is now empty. So it's moved everything out, and this is here. So, oh yeah, so I've actually started opening it. So I'll come back to that in just 2 seconds. So this is going to be the whole build out. Yeah, so it does this sometimes. Yeah, it's not even worth it. So we'll go back. Right, so this is what we're going to be building out today, and let's enjoy it. So what I will do is we will begin with, I'll build it in the same area because it is actually quite a long flow. Well, it's not even that long, but it's a long enough flow where like I'll get confused sometimes if I don't have sort of like a template to come across. So it'll you begin by getting the audio files and the draft box. So you'll have to what's the word? You'll have to connect your Dropbox first. You'll have a look at the documentation. It'll be here. So Dropbox and make.com connection. Right. So it'll be something like this. This is like the documentation here if you don't know how to do it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. What am I looking at, man? So it'll have all the information here on how to do it. If you don't know how to do this, and I'm just like completely breezing past, I can make another like tutorial or whatever on how to connect Dropbox to Make. But let's say you have that sorted out, right? So you go to Dropbox and you gotta watch files. This is like step one. And so you'll add the connection up here and then you'll choose the folder. So this is going to be great. I'm going to base off what I already have. So you're going to be looking at an audio file. So this is going to be this one here, an audio file. and you're going to be watching. You're going to have a draft box inside the audio file. Just give it 2 seconds. Yeah. So depending on how many files you're going to be like putting in at once, um, it's the limit that you want. But the problem sometimes what happens is there's like a disconnect. If you put in too many and it just keeps running and it keeps running, there can be a disconnect. And if it errors outright, it gives you a world of hell because then you have to like re-input the files and all this stuff, right? So the lower the limit sometimes is the better. I have it on, I think it's 10. Yes, I'm on 10, but like if you're putting in like more than 10, uh, yeah, I just be wary. So the next thing you have to do is download the file. So you drop it in here. So I'm actually just gonna put this here. So you download the file, and then yeah, yeah. So you map the file, and you come over here, and you'll get the file ID. No, you don't. Sorry, you get the path lower. You'll get the file path. No, you'll get the file ID. Sorry, I am losing my mind here. You'll get the file ID, and this just downloads the file to the make.com. And the nice thing about this is that file is quite small because Make does have like a limit sort of on the amount you can do. So the MP3 files are actually quite small. So like Make doesn't like get too hinged on it. And then what you'll need these three files here. So it's audio transcription, summarization, and then titles. So I'll get them all out. So Whisper, so transcription, and then you can use just like GPT-4. So one thing that you'll have to be wary of is when you create a completion for this GPT, you should 100% be using either GPT-4 or the 16K turbo model. The reason being is sometimes transcription. So humans have a talking pace of about 128 words a minute, I think. So, and that adds up pretty quickly for kind of the token counting. And if you don't like a 4K model and a 16K model, you have a 4 times window. And if anyone that doesn't understand, long story short, 16K transcription or like 16K GPT models can take more input and output. So that's just like the long story short. So we'll just put like 2000 or whatever, right? And then I'll add a message. Yeah. And then I'll need the title as well. Create completion. So I'll go through these slowly because I'm pretty sure I trained them. Oh, I cannot type right now. So this is just an audio transcription, right? You basically you drop in the downloaded Dropbox file and then you create a transcription. So just along here, you prompt, can you please create a transcripti of this file? Boom. Okay. And it's just like that. It's very easy. It's not difficult. And then this is going to be summary. So from this summary, basically, you'll need to ask it. So what I usually do is I give it a system prompt and then a user, and then like of what I'm asking it to do, and then another kind of like user input. So another thing you can do is maybe add an assistance, but we're not getting that kind of advanced right now. So I give it the system prompt of you are an expert summarizer and assistant. Very simple. It's not exactly difficult. Like the system is just like giving it kind of a role. And then what happens is you drop it down here, user and user. So this third one I usually put as the transcription. So what actually happens is that unfortunately this transcription doesn't show up unless you run it once. So this will have to be run once before the audio file can be input. But know that this audio file from here does go in here. And then what I say for the second bit is your job is to take the transcription and summarize it concisely while keeping all the main points of the summary and little details. So you're just asking it to keep all the main points in and around. And just to cut it down to size, you can maybe add some limit word counts like 100, 200 words. It just depends, right? And then this one here, you're asking it to draft the title. So I give it the system prompt of you are an expert virtual assistant. Very simple. Actually, I might just, yeah. So I give it the system prompt. Just give it 2 seconds. It's loading. I will give it a GPT-4 model, sure. And then a system, and you are an expert virtual assistant. Sorry. And basically, I'm pretty sure I say something in around. Your job is to take the summary I'm about to give you and come up with a short and concise title that sums up what the audio is about. Just something very simple like that, just so you have a title for the file that you're going to be making. And if you come into the user and you just put in the result. So the result goes in here, and that's it. So, and then you just give it like a max token count. Like this won't waste many tokens at all. Like this only ran through like 140 tokens. It's like a couple, not even a cent. It's like less than a cent. And this is where it gets kind of a bit more complicated. So I will actually walk this through with you because this part, if you don't follow completely, it can get a bit lost. So the idea behind this one is you're just formatting the title for the Dropbox year, month, and date. And this comes from the format tokens. Yeah, so it's this one. So this is really good to know if anybody's trying to learn like make actually. These format tokens are super useful because the calendar function and just the date function is so powerful in make.com. So powerful. So as you can see, so like DDD is just like today. It's just something simple like that. And basically these can get a lot more complicated, but so I think it's year, uh, month. Love typing, guys. And then we'll do date. So basically what will happen is you want to get the year you're in because first of all you're going to use it as a filter but also as another variable. So you're going to format the date. So you're going to go format date. Where is format date? Format date. And then what you want to do is you want to get the format date of now because that's when you're going to be doing it. And then from now, because this prints it out in kind of like this crazy kind of like format. I think it's ISO it's called. And then what you do is you're looking for only the year. So you come over here and then you look for only, like just say you only want the year. So it's just Y, Y, Y. So you put in Y, 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 Y. And then honestly, you can copy and paste this across to the other two because the other two are just, this is just month. So if you're only looking for the month, it's MMMM, MMMM. And then for the date, usually I do, let's see, what did I do up here? It's DO and then HM. So DO is, yeah, so DO is the date of the month. So DO, and then bracket, and then the time. So, and then the capital H gives you the 24-hour time with, yeah, so it got 24-hour time. And then the M gives you in minutes. So I'll actually run this just to show what this looks like. So I can just run this by itself, run this module, and it'll run. And then look now, I have the year is 2024, the month is April, and then the date is the 30th at 3:30. So now we have the layout for the filters for this because this kind of like part here is where it gets kind of like you have to kind of start filtering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, yes, okay, so you will need, so the way this is like gonna like tree branch out is first of all you need to see if the year exists. So in the last one, in this one, the year didn't really exist. So this 2024 was made. So that's like the first thing. So you want to search to see if this year module exists. And the way you do that is you use this, you take advantage of the variable that you've made before. So we're going to search. So you're going to search for said module. So here, we're going to go year and then dash audio. So I just have it as audio. It's just something easy to format. And then what you're searching for is audio files. You're checking inside the audio files. And oh yeah, and that's it. So you're just seeing inside the audio files if there's anything even remotely related to that. And then the limit won't really matter. And then what happens is you want to monkey branch it out to where you have a router. And then this router here is going to be here. And this just says if the Dropbox does or if Dropbox doesn't exist. So I use the tag from it because if it does exist, it'll go one way, and if it doesn't, it'll go the other way. So from here, if does exist, and the condition is if tag. Honestly, you can use any of these because if it doesn't exist, it'll just error out. So if this tag does exist, where is does not, Jesus, it's wrong. If it does exist, it'll come this way and set up filter doesn't exist. So if the tag doesn't exist, or like any of it really, it'll go here. So now you have the basis of like the pure kind of like filtering option that you're going to be building out later on. And then what you want to do is, if it does exist, you are then going to search for the month. So what you do is you search for the month. You put in this month here because the month will always change because this runs every single time the module is run. And then what you do is you honestly can just map it, right? Because it actually is faster sometimes. So you base it off this 62. So if this does exist, you get the path lower for this one here. So it'll search inside this folder to see if this exists. And then you make one more, so you make a router, so a flow control with a router, and you do the same thing. So if the month exists or if the month doesn't exist, month exists, and you literally do the exact same thing. You get 64 and you get tag or anything really if it does exist, and you set up this one, or if month doesn't exist, right? So you get the tag or whatever, and you say doesn't exist, right? So now you have all your pathways. So the reason this is so helpful is because once I build out the top one, or like once I build out the bottom one, I can just like build out the top one. If that makes, you know what? I'll actually just show you. It's easier. I should show you. So now the month does exist. So I just need to create a folder, drop, yeah. So I just need to create the folder, create folder that is going to house the transcription and also the audio now. So the folder name will be, I think I had it as date, and then I put it as this. So now you know what date it was uploaded on. Or you could have it as the name because you're going to have a name from the output. It is actually not showing here because I forgot to name it. So I'll just put this here. It helps to name your conventions sometimes. So you come over here and then you have the date. And then honestly, I'm just going to put it as map as well. So if the month does exist, you want to create a folder inside 64, and this is 64. And you go path lower again. The path lower is really, really handy because it just maps it to the last one and it says create folder inside this last file. I remember, I think this one still works with a different kind of formatting unless I removed the, maybe I removed it. Yeah, so I was testing it out just to see like the different formattings, and you can also do it this way where you have like if you want to like stress yourself out and like you want to build it without the folder lower, you can have audio files and a name. It gets a little bit more complicated, but look, it's doable. You do you, okay? This is like the way easy way. So you've now created this said folder with the date of the date and the path. So you created it now. And then you want to move the file because this file is still in the draft box. You want to move this file over. So what we're going to do is we're going to move file. Yeah, so we're going to move this file. So the file slash folder path, you want the file slash folder path to this one. So if I collapse all, it's just easier. And then I watch files. You get this folder path here of this file. This is the first one. And you want to put it inside this, no, not this one, sorry. You're going to move it into create folder here. Sorry, it is this one. You want to, and then create, oh no, that's wrong. And you want to map this and you put it in here. So now what you've done is you've gotten this file here, which is from the very beginning, here, and you've just decided to, and you've decided to move it over to this file path, which is the one you've just created, right? And you give it a name, right? So the name you want to give it is the result of this title. So that was the point of the naming convention. And then just so you have everything kind of consolidated in one place, you come over here and where is it gone? Create, where is it again? Text. Oh, here we go, sorry. So now what you do is you do pretty much like the same thing, but there's like a few more steps. So what you do is you create one. So this is kind of like a PDF file. And honestly, we'll just go back to mapping because I'm just like, it's way easier. And you don't want to do this one now because this, like, you don't want to use this file or folder because that would be a file ID. So be careful with this. You want to use the 66 here. So it's to create this folder. So you go path lower and then you go map. So it's mapped and the file name will be, you already have it here, which is the title. And then the file content, look, it depends on whatever you want, but yeah, it'll be like, you can just put summary and semicolon, and then you just output the summary, and then the transcription. Damn, I can't spell. And the audio transcription, it's not here because I haven't run it, but it should be here, and then you just drop it in here as well. And the lovely thing about this is that all you have to do is, now you have the top half of it built out, where I can now just take it like this, Control C and Control V. And I don't want to waste anybody's time here. Like this is just the fastest way of doing it, where you just Control C, Control V, because the layout is pretty much the exact same. It's just so this, you want to remove the filter here. You don't need a filter. Yeah, here we go. So if the month doesn't exist, the first thing you have to create is the Dropbox. So you have to create a folder for the month. So the folder name is month. So you want to keep this consistent because this variable will never change, right? So you have to keep it very consistent. And you're going to create it inside this 64 here, because this is if it does. Oh shoot, I did the wrong way around. Oh no. Wait, have I been going about this? Create folder. If month exists. If it doesn't, no, sorry, I'm doing this correctly. If the month doesn't exist, you need to create the month inside the year folder. And this is the year folder here. Sorry, it's 62. I was so confused. But it's 62. So you go path lower to 62, and then it'll create. And then I think these should actually 64. Create a folder inside folder. Folder name. Yeah, so you don't want to do 64. You want to create this folder. So you will have to change some of these. So path lower is 72. And then path lower, it'll be 70 to 69. Two folder 69. File path 55. Perfect. Right. So like that's literally that's that section done out now. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not leading you astray. 19 search. If the mod doesn't exist, you want to create year. This is searching for year. Sorry guys. So inside the year, you search and you're searching for month. Sorry, yeah, so that's correct. And then from here, you can actually literally do the exact same thing. All you do is you take a copy and paste, and you copy and paste it all, and you copy and paste it in here. Like I said, we're not wasting nobody's time here, like that. And ooh, I don't want to hit the auto line because it will go super funny. But the reason this is here is if the file doesn't exist at all, right? You need to create a year. So create uh year, no folder. Jesus, what am I saying? Year. You need to create the folder name, right? You have the folder name, right? And you need to create a year. So it's 2024 dash audio. So remember, all of this has to stay kind of consistent naming convention wise. Like it's easy when it's set up, but when it's like beforehand and like you're gonna get bugs and errors everywhere. So now all you want to do is you want to create this file inside of it is download file. Sorry, this one actually you don't even need to map. You can just do create file inside audio. If it's easier for you guys, you can like completely bin this off and just not use the path lower. But if you don't have it built out, you won't have like the previous paths, if that makes sense. So there's that. There's that. So now you have it all built out, and like that's it. That's the whole convention. So like you'll have the file. Let's see if I can come back here and open up said file. So if I go in here, so this is what mine looks like. So summary, the speaker emphasizes the importance of working hard, stating that it is ultimately more important than working smart. They share a personal experience of having a rough night's sleep and still being able to work efficiently the next day. Honestly, pretty good transcription. And then or good summary. And then the transcription is, yes, so this is what I want to talk about a lot, which is learn to do things you didn't know before. What I mean by that is blah, 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 right? No one wants to hear me rant on. But this is what it looks like. Hopefully this is useful for you guys. This is just a full walkthrough. And have a good day, guys. Okay, see ya.